Playing with a boy. Do 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 do. Playing with a boy. Appetite and sunset. Playing with a boy. Wow. 100th episode. I didn't want to demonetize it right off the bat as the numbers have. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. It doesn't matter. But jingle bell, jingle bell. Oh, I decided not to demonetize it because the numbers, as Husey will tell you, are unbelievable. Sports Mass Collective, episode 100, triple digits. Many have tried, many have failed in the time this show has ascended and continued to ascend to the annals of podcast history. I do mean anal. It is December 29th, the year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Hieronymus Christ, 2024. It is Championship Fantasy Week. I'm in the championship. I'll get to that. And the best laid plans of mice and men, as always. I tried to get me to do it, and we were planning to do it the day after Christmas. He got the stiff neck flu. So we are going to do it in person. Then I was going to do it the other day. We were going to do ski mask yesterday, and I was sick, or I was going to do this. The point is, it really works out because guests are gay, as we know here. Guests are a crutch, just like stream sniping is a crutch, just like clip watching is a crutch. And just like reading other people's words for 4 hours is a crutch, but that's for another show. This is the 100th episode. If the longtime viewers recognize this outfit, one of the first outfits ever worn on this fine program, I sent the link to a few people. I don't fucking care. I literally sent it to them 2 minutes ago. We'll see if anyone wants to jump on at any point to say hi, but we have enough to get to anyway. You know, as an athlete and as an elite podcaster as well, it's, you know, you don't, it's 100th episode, 100th episode. You know, if it was this is one of those gay podcasts, you know, I would sit here and beg you all for money for 4 hours. It's 100th episode, please. It's 100th episode, please. It's the 100th episode. Who cares? It's just another week. It's just another week in the life of Sports Mass Collective, and a big week at that. A big week at that is Jim Stancil Ramos, in the fantasy championship of the big league. If you watch the show, you know, the 26th year of this same fantasy league. I've never won it. I went 12-2 through the regular fantasy season, had the bye week. Won my game last, or 13-2 now. I don't fuck. Yeah, 13-2 because I'm gonna play 16 games. It was looking okay until everyone on my team just decided to die over the last 2 days. Alvin Kamara out. Old Mother Chubba Hubbard out. David Njoku, who has been killing it fantasy wise, out. So. Because I know everyone cares about this. The winner of our league, I think, gets 1,700. I think second place, which is I'll most likely gets like 500 or 800. So Daddy's still in the money. And Daddy has been back betting again, folks. Back on DraftKings. We hit a number. I got number 9 for the Thursday night game. And unbelievable, if you had 9 like me, the game itself was terrible, but not if you had 9 as the number, and the game ended 6-3, an ugly, ugly game. But Daddy made $250, so the winners keep winning is the thing. We all have to remember, folks. You find folks who watch this program know that. The winners keep winning. And what a road it's been. The 100th episode. This show started with me and Mead, then me, Mead, and Juggy. Julio was often off camera as a producer many times in the garage days. We are deep in the bowels of New York City right now, by the way, in an undisclosed location. Once again, I've left my house. And that's the state of affairs. We got a lot to get to. We'll get to all the games. It's sports related, but I got to give credit where credit's due to Julio. We were watching Happy Gilmore the other night, whatever night that was, Christmas night or something, Christmas Eve maybe. And I never realized that what's-her-name, Virginia, really fucked up the whole thing. When he's going to buy his mother's house, his grandmother's house, and Shooter McGavin outbids him, he gives them the opportunity right in and there. He says, okay, I'll give you the house, just get off the tour. And Happy Gilmore is about to sign it, and that would have been that. The whole point of him playing on the tour was to get the house back. He could have had the house back right then and there at the auction. And stupid fucking Virginia, he literally takes the paper out of Shooter's hand to sign the house back over to him and his grandmother. And dumb bitch Virginia says, wait a minute, you can do both. You can do the tour. So then now he has to play this whole fucking tour just to get the house back. He could have had the house back right then and there and not had to go on the tour if it wasn't for goddamn Virginia. Never really thought of it that way before. Shout out Julio for bringing that up. So it's all that. Once again, a woman ruins everything. Isn't that interesting, folks? Let's see what's in the news. Oh, boy. Okay, again, like I said, I could sit here and make a big deal about 100th episode and fucking, oh, please, make a big deal. Just like people do birthday shows and beg you for money. I do a real show. Give money if you want. I'll just get it out of the way. Venmo my account at DaveD23. Cut out Ski Mask and the middleman. Ski Mask, of course, another week of Ski Mask not doing a show while I continue content. We did a walkabout in the city the other night. That'll be uploaded to Patreon just as soon as I'm done here. Now Ski Mask is moving out of his trailer, out of the tuna can. Credit where credit's due. I'll get to the poor people chat in a bit. I don't have it pulled up. I'm only looking at chats on this side if it's a super chat. Not that it matters, but if you want something read immediately, that's the deal. Same deal as always. That's nothing new. At DaveD23 is my accountant. If you want to cut out the middleman and make sure Ski Mask doesn't get any of the money. And as always, join the Patreon. One of the more active Patreons out there. And we don't even do this for a living. $3 once a month gets you everything. Oh, boy. Yeah, so let's take a look at my fantasy championship because that's what's important here. Yeah. David and Joko, out. Old Mother Chubber Hubbard, out. Alvin Kamara, out. Somebody else was out that I think I already dropped. So here's my lineup going into Championship Sunday. By the way, I'm down 56-34. I've had 2 people go. He's had 4 people go. Here's who I have remaining. Well, here's the lineup for the championship week. Lamar Jackson, who already got 30 points. Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, only had 4 points on Wednesday. Or 2, whatever fucking day it was. Saquon in line for a huge day, by the way, in Dallas. I need Saquon to have a big, big day for me to have a chance here. And he's motivated. He's got numbers he's chasing. He's chasing the MVP, which, frankly, I think he deserves. The whole Josh Allen thing, I don't understand. I haven't got all year. We'll get to the Bills, and I don't really believe. Guerendo, the backup, Isaac Guerendo, who's the starter in the 49ers since McCaffrey was worthless. I had to pick up a tight end, Grant Calcaterra of the Eagles. Hopefully I just get a lucky red zone touchdown. Josh Downs, who's been on my bench, I had to start at flex. And Alexander Madison, running back for the Raiders, same thing. He's been on my bench, almost never have started him. And, of course, I had to use him in a flex because of all the injuries. Jake Bates, the Detroit kicker, has been a staple in the lineup because I'm a genius. Here's the thing with kickers in fantasy, free pro tip. You either take a kicker on a terrible team because they never score touchdowns, and I honestly like that, or you take it from a very high-scoring team like the Lions or the Chiefs. So that's the way I went this year. And Indianapolis D, who I smartly picked up a few weeks ago because they're playing the Giants this week. They played the Titans last week, so That is the stage. The stage is set. I'm showing a 29% chance of winning, so it'll be an unbelievable comeback if I can somehow pull this off. I'm going to need some big days from some unlikely people to get it done. But he's in the dance. I'm in the money either way, and that's what's important around here. College football playoffs started last week, and wouldn't you be surprised, folks? I know if you watch this program and you're a Stancelite and you submit to my cult, you won't be surprised. Not a single one-score game in this great college football playoff they put together. Not a single one-score game in the first round of the college playoffs. It's almost like the higher seed in college always wins. What a boring, boring state of affairs. No interest in college football at all. Just a low, again, it is what it is. It's not even a knock. It's the farm system for the NFL. So it's just a low level of play. There's no defense ever played. I'll die in this hill. I'd rather watch a 6-3 game like the other night, than fucking 41-38 game between Louisiana Tech State and the Citadel or whatever the fuck these teams are. Give me that anytime over these college games where no one plays defense. You can take your mongoloidal point. I need points. Points are entertaining. I like points. Points. You can shove it. I like a nice defense. I like real football. That's why the NBA has gone to shit, because they've bent the knee to all these mouth breathers. You just want points, and now nobody watches the NBA. LeBron can say whatever he wants. The NBA doesn't hold a candle to the NFL product. And I've been saying for a while how bad the state of the NBA and the NBA gameplay is. And even the mouth breathers are now catching up. As you see, the ratings have dipped by almost 50% over the last couple years. And that's what happens when you have a, commissioner, the alien Jew, whatever his name is, Adam Silver, who just does the bidding of what he does. He's a cuck for the players. And when you're a cuck for the players, you let star players sit out all the time. You let them shoot threes. Nobody calls foul, everything in the paint is a foul, so nobody can bang in the paint like old times. You got 7'5" guys like Wembayama shooting threes. Like, how dumb is that? Just a terrible. It's all me. It's all individual centric in the NBA. There's no game. There's very boring gameplay. Players don't really care. They do this whole load management thing. It's unbelievable. You know, you watch hockey. These guys barely take time off. They get in their heads drilled into boards and actually hit every game. And these guys don't miss games. You got guys playing with their nose on the side of their head. And then you got the NBA where Joel Embiid's hamstring is a little bit sore, so he sits out for 9 months. It's just a joke. And it's embarrassing, and they're paying the price, because Stancelstradamus, I was always right about the NBA. Anywho, who's a Jew? Put your hand where I can poo. Oh, we've had a great 100 episodes. Go ahead, call in if you want to mention your favorite Sports Mask episodes. But yeah, it's a long, strange trip. I believe we started in Mead's living room during the COVID. Then we did it in the old garage room there. We've done a few on the road. We've done a few in Vermont. We've done a few in Maine over the years. Yes, unbelievable. Many saying a flagship podcast for 2025. And we took a lot of time off. You know, summertime here at Sports Mask is generally down season. We'll do a show. We got at least another month of the NFL season, so we'll be back every week until the NFL season is done, and then we'll see what we do. I don't mind doing it every week. But again, as always here, unlike all these other shows who just continue to put out slop, quality over quantity here at Ski Mask Media. And if there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing exciting to talk about in the sports world, I'm just not going to do a show. That's how podcasts should be. If there's nothing to talk about, don't do a show. Otherwise, next thing you know, you're 60 in your wife's bedroom and you're just reading the same 15 people's super chats for 4 hours a day. Rack me. And talking to the same losers in boxes when you used to talk to real comedians and actually high-profile people. But anywho, excuse me. First Celsius of the day. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. I might just rip through the show. Might even do a short show. We'll see. Hot over the wire, as I'm only looking at super chats until later on. Sam V. Sam V. Congrats. Let us get along. Anywho. Please. I'm sure it's not the last anywho of the show, Sam. Stay tuned. And thank you. Thank you for your $1 and about 10 cents after YouTube takes his cut. That's why you got to hit up my account on Venmo. But that's fine. And that also cuts out Ski Mask. We all hate Ski Mask and how little he's done for this network. So feel free to cut him out by just Venmoing there. But you don't have to. I don't care. It's not about that. I'm not going to dub myself down to the level of these other losers. What else is in the sports news? I might just get to the games and get the fuck out of here. A couple deaths. A few deaths since we've last done the show. And frankly, Ricky Henderson and Greg Gumbel. Ricky Henderson, obviously a Hall of Famer. Now, my favorite Ricky Henderson memory, and I tweeted this, but I know not everybody is on gay Twitter. There was a thing called the Mercury Mets in the late 90s. They did a Mercury Mets weekend where the promotion was they wore futuristic jerseys. It was like a futuristic weekend. I want to say it was around when Star Wars was re-released, maybe a little bit after that. They wore these gray and black jerseys with the Mercury sign on the hat. I had the hat. They had the hats as giveaways. I wish I still had it now because it was a pretty sick hat looking back. A black hat with a Mercury sign on the front and said Mets underneath. But what they also did was they did basically photoshops of all the players as aliens. And Ricky Henderson came up to bat, and they put them all in the Titantron there at Shea Stadium. This was Ricky Henderson's photo that they put on the Jumbotron. And you can look this up, folks, if you don't believe me. When he came up to bat the first time, the umpire was laughing so hard, he literally had to pause the game, and he walked around behind home plate. Still one of my favorite memories. Everybody in the stadium just laughing because they were all and they did them all different. This was Ricky's. They made them all look like aliens or put them in like astronaut, costumes. Godspeed to Ricky Henderson. Talk about another one of the guys who played the game the right way, playing hard, not being friends with the other team like all these other new age cucks. And the other death, I believe just 2 days ago, which weirdly made me emotional, Greg Gumbel passed away, sports commentator. And it made me a little emotional. I'm not going to lie. Oh, God. I got the NFL kickoff on here in the background. And guess what? Guess who's on? The Jets are playing the Bills, and they just showed the fucking low-life Bills Mafia. We all know my feelings about them. Literally the lowest class, the most trash fan base in sports, the Buffalo Bills Mafia. Just nothing to, you know it, folks. Say it at home with me. Nothing to do in Buffalo except fart and eat wings. Everyone up there smells like sulfur and vinegar. Literally, their fun is throwing each other through tables in parking lots and covering themselves with condiments and then pushing young girls with cancer diagnoses down the stadium steps because they can't get, because there's nothing else to do in Buffalo. The low-life pieces of shit in Buffalo except to watch football. Just a cultureless swine living in the dark up there in northern New York. And they're luckily they're playing the Jets today, so I'm sure they'll blow the doors off them. We'll get to the picks and we'll go around the league, obviously. But Greg Gumbel passing, yes. If you're around my age, give or take, you grew up basically as the voice of many sports. You know, I think when I think of sports commentators, I think of Greg Gumbel, Bob Costas, Al Michaels. Pat Summerall, he died some years ago. John Madden, he died some years ago. But, a bit of I was sad news when I heard that. Not to get serious here, because we never do that. That's gay. But it did make me a little emotional. Maybe because I'm getting old. I'm 39 now. Everyone I watched growing up is starting to die. It may be morbid, but I often, more and more, I think about what happened, what I'm gonna do when Jordan dies. I don't know. I have to cross that bridge when I get there. But slowly but surely, everyone you know and ever knew will die. Unbelievable what's happening out here is death. And another couple of the people we grew up with bit the dust this week. Ricky Anderson, Greg Gumbel, Godspeed to you both. I wish you well in your afterlife. I certainly hope you were both cremated and weren't selfish enough in archaic, the archaic tradition of taking up land to bury your bodies. I mean, what a selfish last act. Is there anything more selfish you can do than take up land with your dead body by putting it in a cemetery? Two things I think are so archaic they need to go. Cemeteries, such wastes of land, and churches, also huge wastes of prime real estate and land. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. That's just fact. And, that's the only thing I deal with is I only deal in reality and facts. It's a cross I bear. Let's see. Yes, the moral of the story is get cremated and spread your ashes all over the planet. Last Sunday, because it was after we did sports last week, we hung out with the great Tommy Seven Names at the Best Bar in America with Meade and Julio. All the greats were there. Tommy nearly got us arrested. He's walking behind the bar. He's annoying Australian people. Meade called him the Roomba of annoyance, which I thought was very fitting. But no, we loved it. We had a great time. Tommy stopped by yesterday, forgot his coat in his haste. So shout out to Tommy Seven Names. Again, I leave my house and actually hang out with the real people, unlike all these other people. Anywho, let's take a look at the playoff picture. Again, I'm not going to sit here and just say nonsense just for the sake of filling time. When I'm done, I'm done. That's how you know whatever you do here is quality content. I believe the AFC is all but locked up as far as the playoff picture goes, folks. You're going to have the Bills out of the AFC East. The Chiefs, by the way, 15-1. Stancil-Stradamus all throughout the year. And we'll get, obviously, my power rankings again. We'll get to them. All year I've had the Chiefs at 1. You heard all this talk from these talking heads about the Bills and about the Lions and about the Eagles and about the Ravens. Say what you want about the Chiefs. They were at the top of my power rankings all year for a reason. They are the best team in the NFL. Let me say it again. The Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. Period. Stop. They play down their opponents. They're peaking at the right time now. They're putting it together. They're 15-1. They're coming off of 2 championships. They are the team to beat until proven otherwise. They honestly, somehow quietly at 15-1, the Chiefs. and still it feels like nobody's talking about them. They very likely will go to the Super Bowl. They very likely will win a third Super Bowl, a three-peat, the first three-peat in NFL history, and it may be the quietest three-peat you've seen because everyone wants to try to suck Josh Allen's dick. Listen, the Josh Allen, the Bills, I understand Josh Allen is good. I'm not saying he's not, but they're not great. They play the Jets, Patriots, and the Dolphins 6 times on their schedule. They're in one of the worst divisions in football this year. And people want to crown Josh Allen? No. And their fans are trash. Anyway, it's going to be the Bills, the Chiefs, in all likelihood, the Ravens, although that division is technically still up for grabs. And you're going to have the Texans out of the AFC South, folks. So for the 3 wild cards, it's going to be the Steelers. And then you're basically going to have, the Bengals slightly keeping their hopes alive. There's some teams that technically can make it. But your wild card is either going to be the Steelers and the Chargers and Broncos in all likelihood. The Bengals do have an outside shot now at 8-8. Broncos are 9-7. There's a couple teams with pipe dreams like the Colts and the Dolphins. Not going to happen. So AFC East, you essentially know your playoff teams. You're going to have the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Steelers, Chargers, Broncos. That's essentially, barring anything weird, is going to be your teams out of that AFC. Let me get to the NFC, and then we have a caller. We have a caller, folks. NFC is a little more convoluted, but it is shaping up. So you're going to have, really the only division that's wrapped up, and it is not even technically wrapped up, but you have the Eagles at 12-3 of the NFC East. The NFC West, most likely going to be the Rams, but the Seahawks are 1 game back. Rams are 10-6. Seahawks are 9-7 there. You have the NFC North, which is totally up for grabs. Lions are 13-2. Vikings are 13-2. And even the Packers are lurking there at 11-4. Now, all 3 of those teams are going to the playoffs, which help with the picture a bit. And the AFC South, which is still totally up for grabs between the Falcons and the Bucks. Much more convoluted. So you're going to have the Lions, the Vikings, and Packers in the playoffs. You're going to have the Eagles in the playoffs. You're most likely going to have the Rams in the playoffs. And then for those last 2 wild cards, the 2 wild cards are coming to the NFC North. 2 of those 3 teams, most likely the Vikings and the Packers, are going to be your wild cards there, 13-2 and 11-4. Then you'll most likely get then it's going to be between the Redskins and the Seahawks. And maybe the Seahawks/Rams, whoever doesn't win that division. It's going to be basically 2 teams for 1 spot. The Commanders and the Rams and or the Seahawks for that last playoff spot in the NFC. So in the NFC, the NFC has some interesting games coming up. And by the way, very interesting, the Vikings, for all they've done all year, same for the Lions. The Lions may not even be the 1 seed after all this. If the Vikings can win, or the Vikings did win, right? I don't fucking care. Hold on. This is the show, folks. I really don't care. Yes, the Packers and the Vikings today at 4:25, by the way. Huge game. The Vikings can nix the Packers' playoff hopes or at least division hopes with a win there. If the Vikings win against the Packers and the Lions take care of business against the Niners tomorrow night, which in all likelihood they should, Actually, it doesn't matter whether the Lions lose or win, actually. That's right. Basically, the Vikings win. Next Sunday, Vikings-Lions for the division winner. Well, that's something to keep an eye on. Otherwise, there'll be some interesting things on the line as far as seeding next Sunday. Most likely after today, we'll have a pretty good idea of like I said, the AFC is pretty much shaped out, barring anything crazy. The NFC is still a lot of moving parts with seeding and divisions and that thing. So after today, we should have it pretty well in hand. Now, we have someone who's been here from the very early days. Let's see. See if my computer doesn't explode. Go ahead, caller.
First time, long time. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. Now, I see you're from the authentic Vietnamese food spot we all love called Beach Niga. What are we eating today?
I invented this, of course, bringing Pho Beach Niga into the forefront. This was a sports mass tradition. Everybody knows about this clearly. How do you say it's amazing what's going on out here, folks?
It's unbelievable what's happening out here, Victor.
That's usually how I do it, incredibly wrong.
Now, you may be I don't know if you have the numbers in front of you. You may be in the running for most shows co-hosted.
I'm a caller. If you remember. I'm a caller.
The caller. Shout out to Ashley Marie Thornton. How many lowers does she have? Did you drop the ball?
She's rich now. It's unbelievable.
Boy, did you drop the ball not linking up with her, didn't you?
There was many bad decisions I've made since I've joined this program, though that probably being one of them. You can clip that, Ashley. Enjoy yourself.
Favorite top 7 sports mass memories?
Jesus fucking Christ. I was drunk on half of them.
You can just do 1 or 2 if you want.
Well, I had that one. It's going to be a Vic session because I enjoy things I do. The sports stuff is boring. The one time that I had a joke on you, I don't even remember the joke. That was fun. The GIF I had of the Indian place that was just crumbling, that made everybody laugh. That was a good one.
That was very good.
I did like you yelled at somebody once. That pleased me.
I yell at people a lot of times.
Yeah, there was somebody specifically on the show, and you went at them. And I miss Juggy.
I talked to Juggy. Juggy was sent the link. The best laid plans of mice and men, of course. I planned to do this Boxing Day, but it didn't. Meade had the flu, apparently.
We all got it. I was hooking up with him, so I got the same fucking thing right now.
A big question. Again, I only have the super chats and member stuff starred here. So if you're in the poor people chat, I'm not seeing it. I will check the poor people chat, but Stu Cluster, by the way, good egg. He sent me some holiday support for enjoying the content here at Ski Mask Media. I saw him out and about. By the way, Stu Cluster, another guy who leaves. He's building his house, and I see he leaves his house. Stu Cluster, form a membership. By the way, if you're a member, you were able to see that Walk Around NYC all week, which will be on the Patreon after this. Is the Drug Den House still in operation, Victor? Everybody loved the Trap House.
We had the, I don't know if you remember, but we had the annual wives and girlfriend party last night. It was terrible.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that's an annual tradition. I remember talking about this last year.
Absolutely terrible. Everybody sits there and stares at each other. There were guys sneaking out into the garage to do fucking drugs.
I was going to say, now, well, I know we've talked about this in years past, years of days of yore. They act like they don't do drugs, but they still do the drugs. Is that correct?
Not there usually. We basically had to talk to the 2 guys that were going outside to watch it snow outside. And we had to instruct them that there are other people here because some of the wives know, most of them don't. You know what I mean? And it was a situation, but everything was cool. Trap House is in effect today. If anybody wants to stop by, come on.
Oh, are you going over later?
I'm actually waiting for a ride right now, which is why I called you. I'm going to the casino. Is there a parlay you would like me to enter on behalf of Sports Mask today?
Whoa. Probably at the top of the show, I am back in the sports betting game after a long hiatus. I don't think I placed a bet since the early summer. Back in the Bidway, I hit my number. I had 9 for the Thursday night games. That terrible game was 6-3, so I won $250. I'm in the fantasy championship as we speak.
Very good.
Now I put in $25 the first night, and I lost 20 of it over various bets. I don't know. Thanks, Stu.
Love you, Stu.
Love you, Stu. Maybe I'll come across it as we do the show. If not, I'll text you something. Maybe when I do that.
Of course.
Take a look at the
post it on the Twitter, the X for everybody to see.
What else is in the news, Victor? Are you getting excited? We have a big trip out west this spring.
I'm still in recovery. I have full mobility back in my ankle. So
that's right.
Unlike you, I do not have strong calves. You know that.
I do know.
And I've been working them out. I've been trying to follow the path. It's been no bueno, as we say in the business. But I'm getting there.
That's sad.
I'm getting there. I'm walkable. I can walk. So whatever. Fuck it. I'm going to die anyway. It's cool.
It's my computer's trying to do stuff. There we go.
It's gay.
Oh, hold on. Let me quit that. Yeah, God forbid one thing happens, my computer basically self-destructs. There we go.
Well, just to have Ski give you all that money and you can buy yourself a whole recording studio.
Yeah, well, at least somebody's doing something on this network. Somebody's got to carry the weight. Might as well be me, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's check the notes.
Does the board have any recommendations for the parlay? I would take that too.
You know what? We'll do a quick check of the poor people chat so they don't build up too much here. Let's see what you poors are on. About 30 messages here. It's not even 8 a.m. in California. No time for a celebration. Should be in church. Did you go to church for Christmas? Did you do the bad Catholic thing where you go to church on Christmas?
I've given everything up.
Good.
Family still does it. People with children. It's always could you have kids? You're like, I want there to be a God because of my children. That's it. It's very selfish. Right. I want him to be around, but he's not.
That's a good point. I have a couple friends, and I know I jokingly about it. There's like a movement of young people going back to church and stuff. I have a couple friends in the last couple of years who have gotten all churchy, not like over the top, like you got to find God, but like going back to church. Yeah, it's good and they've all just happened to have kids in the last couple of years. So I think that is a great take there, Victor, as always.
Like Kumia's chick, oh my God. What's
Missy.
Her name? Missy. She's all God. And I'm down with that, but she doesn't have kids. So that's the only one I've seen outside of that.
People that are like really on the right for some reason love church. I don't know.
It's all right. Whatever.
I mean, I grew up Roman Catholic. I got my sacraments, but I don't have the gall. I think it's an affront to God to go to church on Easter and Christmas if you don't practice regularly.
Correct. That's why I'm down with Missy.
Yeah, right. I think it's ridiculous. If you don't go to church, at least once a month during the year, you shouldn't be allowed to go to Christmas Mass.
Hypocrite, straight up.
Sports is gay from the great Leo Gunn. Another MLC work. Their holiday party never happened. Everything over there is at work now. Terribly boring. We don't really waste too much time. I do get ads money. That's why I sing Playing with the Boys at the top of the show now. I did a few shows recently where I played it because I don't give a fuck. Best bet today. Mint Diggity. Stay tuned. We're going to go through all the games and I will get you some locks. This is for the wrong show, but he took the time to write a paragraph, so I'll read it. Honky Tonk, Tennessee. Fuck Kevin Brennan. Real, very scaredy cat about brave guests trying to take down the precious MLC podcast on YouTube by acting all nutso. MLC not so nutso. You heard Ski Mask might need a rehab of sorts. Ciao to guests on MLC. All right, well. Thinks he had a conniption in the second half of that, but your comment is now on the record for all time eternum. It's amazing what's going on, of course. Double-digit viewers, so all the people who say no one watches, and it's the morning, everyone's still drunk from the holidays. It's absolutely unbelievable, the numbers. Hundreds of views on all these shows. Once I ever get a goddamn new computer, by the way, they will. I just can't upload the audio to Apple and Spotify on this computer. It literally doesn't load. So I didn't forget, and I'm an audiophile, and we were on a good run there until my computer decided to barely work. Oh, look at that. 1046. Julian, where the hell are you? Send Victor the link. You got what you wanted. Pickett gonna blow him out. Okay. Let's see. I like the Birds.
Pickett. How do you think Pickett's gonna do there?
Pickett, the wide receiver?
No.
Pickett, the quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right. Because Jalen Hurts.
Steeler boy. Pit boy. Pit you boy.
You know, I like, as I've been on record all year, I think the Eagles have some of the best talent on offense. Obviously, it's not saying much. But people just don't talk. I mean, everybody likes to talk about the Lions, who now have complete. By the way, I said it last week. I'll say it again. The Lions will lose their first round playoff game, whenever that is. They lost their running back, their line injuries to their offensive line, and their defense is decimated. I think 5 of their starters are out now for the year. The Lions will not make it past the first round. Sorry, Steve. Morning, brother, Dr. Chow. Is the drug guy still going on? We got to that. De La on the board. I guess this came over the wire while we were reading these. Is it okay if me and your dad kiss while watching this show? We bet the money you wasted for viewer, so really makes this ruin your family's name. Well, my dad's dead, and he was cremated because he is a man. You can go kiss him. You can go out to Bowie 30, Smith Reef in Long Island Sound. That's where his ashes were dropped. So if you want to go kiss some salt water. Now, do you have a father, Victor?
I had one. Yeah.
Dead?
I'm old as shit. They're all dead. Everybody's dead.
Yeah, everybody dies. Now, did Greg Gumbel passing? I got a little emotional when I heard of Greg Gumbel passing.
Well, I didn't even.
Right. Thanks, Dave.
Greg Gumbel, why'd you emotional over him? Sports? Because he announced sports in his life?
Hey, Daylock, go kiss our dead dads and think about this.
Well, how many, listen, you made a point here. How many people are still fucking hungover? This doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. We got a lot of viewers, though, for a morning. We're doing well. Thanks, Daylock. Jim tried to kiss me. I goddamn sure would. And I'll touch you, too.
Bring it.
It's pouring in now. I said no 7 times.
5th time's charm.
Yeah. Listen, women can say what they want. You got to be persistent. If you take no as no, you'll never touch a vagina. No means yes. We're bringing it all back. Stu Cluster back on the board. Did you see the insane scenario? What the fuck is that? That the Rams or Seahawks need to get into the playoffs.
I did not.
I didn't, Stu. I'll look it up. I don't fact check. This is a comedy sports podcast. I don't really know anything.
You got to do this when you say comedy sports podcast.
Comedy sports, right. I haven't played Madden. Only because Dayla's a member. I'll read it. Madden 2008, I think, was the last one I played. I've told this story before, but it's 100th episode. And it's not a long story. I was in college at the Lax House, of course. Captain of the lacrosse team, living at the Lax House. You can imagine the women I bent over there. And I was playing Madden 2008. And I was low. Madden was just getting worse and worse every year. Anyway, they just try to add shit every year, which they still do. It's all nonsense. NFL 2K for Dreamcast, still the best sports football game ever made. Don't at me. I was playing as the Jets, and my players are running over the ball, and it goes out of bounds. And I took the disc out of the PlayStation, smashed it, smashed my controller, and punched a hole through my door. And that was the last time I ever played Madden.
You sound stable.
Sorry, just hashtag real job, no big deal. Do you ever play Madden, Victor? Was that you play like Atari football, right?
I had to quit. I had to quit video games. As you know, I have an addictive personality. And I was playing Hitman until 6 o'clock in the morning while I was supporting the New York Stock Exchange and Amex, basically all the world's trading. So I had to quit because I was sleeping at my desk.
Now, how is the money? Are you making a lot of money? You're making passive income these days.
Well, funny you should say that. So since Sports Mask has started, I'm not broke, but I was so hot before I started coming on Sports Mask.
I remember you were flying me out to Atlantic City and putting me up.
Probably leading up to COVID. There was probably, I was probably clearing anywhere between 40 and 80K a year gambling. It was wild. It was wild.
All of our dads, everyone who likes this show's dads are dead.
Right. And then it went the opposite way, literally. So, it's cool.
Now, are you saying there's a correlation to this show and your monetary downfall? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying directly, but it might be indirect. I believe in the universe. I believe in vibes. I think people see how good we have it. You understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
They wish bad things. Haters, if you will.
Haters.
I think there is a vibe about that.
Dayla, my dad's alive. You can kiss him when you want to. Bring him over. Yeah, show him this. Yes, yes, yes. Boom.
Well, that's a good question. Have you talked at all about your?
Right, we're going to go back to only reading super chats for a bit.
Did you have a pedicure done on your feet?
I did. Big news. I did go for a pedicure. What was that? Christmas.
Sometime? Okay.
The day after Christmas.
Okay.
Yes. The day after Christmas. I got my second pedicure of my life. Of course, a lady caller forced me into it, but it was nice. I mean, there was a pile of shavings from my heel like I'm Brown Snake afterward. And she did comment on how big my calves were, as nobody should be surprised by that. So, yes, a pedicure was had. And I had some other big news. We have another guest in the waiting room. Everyone's going to love in just a second. Really quick, I don't know if everyone saw. I mentioned it on my walkabout. That's on members only right now. It'll be on the Patreon after this. I won. I beat Luis J. Gomez. He succumbed. I outdid him by proving that I am the superior gym athlete by constantly tweeting at him. And he since has submitted his resignation to posting gym photos. So you're all welcome. I did it by embarrassing him. Now, folks, we have a real treat here. A real treat. An OG member. One of the great crowd favorite. People still ask about him all the time. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a little late. How many episodes have I missed?
Only about 70 or so.
Victor Marca, you look great.
Look at that gorgeous bitch.
You are a beautiful boy.
I like how Juggy does this show once a decade now, and he has a better audio setup than everyone who comes on the show.
He's just calling me the Undertaker.
There he is. Merry Christmas. Happy tradition, Jugs. How was your holiday?
The holiday was germ-ridden, but appreciative. Everybody got sick. Apparently, whooping cough is sweeping the nation, which is wild.
I was sick yesterday.
I thought we were all immune to that, but here we are, having the
back.
Black Plague and COVID. And
yeah, well, you got
but it was good.
As my dead father used to say, call kids germ bags, and you you made yourself a germ bag. I don't know if you've been on since then, but congrats. I don't know. I'm just saying. Obviously, we know. I'm just telling the people out there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, everybody was sick. Mead was sick. I was sick yesterday. We're all gay.
Yeah.
How have the sports been?
Everybody's immune system just generally shuts down between December 20th and January 1st. Since everybody's off, you don't need to be on. You don't need to, put on a too busy of a trench coat, if you know what I mean. Like you just have to kind of, everyone just relaxes and everyone's like, oh, time to catch something.
Time to get sick.
And
Now, I'm
you just
glad you
asked
brought
me,
that up. I'm glad you brought that up because, 100th episode, looking back a little bit, although we're not too bad, we don't really care. But you
well
had
done, by the way.
one of the great shows here for a while with Chick Mangione.
Yeah, that's right.
What was it
Fit
called?
Mass Collective.
Fit Mass Collective, an all-time
I enjoyed
show.
doing that. I
That
really,
was a
oh my
great
God.
show.
It was really good. I enjoyed and I hope that I really hope that we can get back to something like that. I enjoyed the guests. I enjoyed the information that was being spread. We made it somewhat humorous, and we were all connected. I had a blast. I hope that Chick's schedule frees up because I know that she was doing the PhD thing, and that's no joke. That literally sweeps up your whole life.
Nothing on this network is a joke.
Oh no, we take everything absolutely seriously here.
Yes. No, yeah. So from what I've seen, I don't know if you keep in touch with her. I just cursory on the socials, but she is I guess she's done with that now.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I think she wrapped that up fairly recently. So yeah, we would love, that was a great show, something different for this network besides lunacy, where you guys actually knew what you were talking about, but also, like you said, kept it light. And hit her up. Maybe do it once a month. Do it once every 2 months. Do whatever. But
yeah, you should do like a Huberman style podcast. You know what I mean? Target a certain thing.
What's Huberman? It's been a while.
He's some fucking Joe Rogan jerk off guy that goes on all the time and he's actually real smart about stuff. But he'll do his own podcast around. I don't know.
I hear you.
Tits are growing. How to stop it? Things like that.
Right. Yeah, and just let them. If we're
Speaking
growing,
of tits are growing, Paige Speranack in your background there.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh yeah.
Yep, good for her.
She's got a great swing.
Yeah, I like to watch her. I like to watch her for the tips.
Specific.
Oh yeah. She's got great tips because she's been doing it for quite some time now.
Yeah,
and she's a legit good golfer. She can really slam.
How are the sports treating you, Jugs? What is you're involved in sports on different levels. What is the state of the union of Juggy sports world these days?
Well, I think you've done a pretty decent job covering. I mean, I'm going to start off nice and high, nice and bright, nice and joyful. The New York Mets run this year.
Yeah.
I mean, undeniable. I love the fact that you were talking to that Philly fan before the Casey's thing. Super friendly, very nice, very cordial. But I did not expect the Mets to do what they did at all. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. I didn't expect them to make a deep run. They got 2 on the Dodgers. Yanks got 1. So I'm very happy with the way things turned out with the Mets. I can actually have something good to say for once in a long time. And then you look at the other sports teams, the absolute horrific mess that we are involved in. We can start with, hockey with the Rangers. I know. Please,
because Mead hasn't been on in a while, and I keep waiting for Mead to come on to talk hockey because I haven't talked to Stitch hockey.
He's a tease.
And I was hoping that he'd be on because I'm showing my love here. I'm showing my Bridgeport Islander love here. It's as closest that I can get to a New York Islander hat. So I'm showing my love. I'm showing my joy. And then, oh my goodness, like just the Rangers. Here's the one thing good thing that they did though. They signed Shesterkin for 11, and they paid the man. He deserves it. The goalie situation's taken care of when it comes to the Rangers. But right now, man, just. What's that? The big tall dude. He's always in and out of the league. He's going back. He's like Chara, but for the Rangers. He's a young kid. He likes to get in all these fights and stuff like that. And really, all that's happening is he's getting way too many penalties. He's getting way too many misconducts. He's missing too much action. Like he's just a super dirty player. Kreider with that whole post, like he's not supposed to be advertising his injuries because if you ever notice, they always have upper body and lower body injuries in the NHL. They're very rarely specific because they want to keep the privacy on the player side. But Kreider goes ahead and ruins it and just says, "Here's what I got," and that messes with the market. If he wants to be traded, that can either raise or lower his value, and that would change decisions on other teams. So he kind of didn't know though.
Speaking of Rangers, we have another. It's a real cavalcade of guests. 100th episode here, folks. Another guest from shows past. He was a regular And we'll get. Oh, I'm getting right into. I'm continuing with the hockey here. He was a regular host here for a little while. We thanked him for his time. A friend of the show. He has me on his show. It's very nice. He's done a lot. He's done
all right.
After the compound media collapse, Steve and Garrett have come out bigly on top. They're making buku bucks over there at Garrett and Steve YouTube channel. Hello, Steve.
Hi.
Excellent.
Is this Busting with the Boys?
Yep, this is Busting with the Boys.
basically.
I'm going to drink a beer and talk to Travis Kelce or something, whatever the fuck those guys do.
I'd like to bust Steve. I'd like to bust
We were
him.
just talking about the Rangers, Steve.
I heard. I didn't realize that Kreider was. I didn't see the post. I didn't know that was all happening.
This was about 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
in the middle of an epic collapse. I've been
Yes.
very loosely paying attention because every time I watch a game, I kind of have a stroke. So not very in tune with the Rangers because I'm losing my mind anytime I pay attention to anything they do. They're trading away players, which at this point I'm like, I guess who gives a shit? Because it's not like they're performing.
Yeah.
So what was is Kreider looking for a trade? Did I hear you say that?
That's the thing. That's what people are saying, that like he shouldn't have posted his specific injury, because if that's the case, then other teams are going to look at him different. So that's why the league is like, huge no. But that's a great question. I actually didn't know why he did that. If it was just God's honest mistake, or if he's looking for a trade, or if he knows that people are looking for him. Is he trying to get a more affordable? I don't know. But basically, it's a mess. The Rangers are just a little bit of a mess right now, and they really need to start cleaning it up.
I mean, it sounds like the opposite to me. If you're saying he's like devaluing himself in the trade market, then maybe he wants to stay in New York, and he's been hearing rumors.
Never thought of it that way.
They're going to toss him. He's like, oh no, I'm injured. Like who would want me? Because they gave away Kako for I don't know. Was there anything of value gained in that trade?
Nah.
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
And Trouba thing, he got dealt out just to get rid of his contract. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kreider heard rumors and was like, no, I want to stay here, even though we're in the middle of one of our worst seasons with one of the best teams that they've had.
Yeah.
The whole thing makes no sense to me.
Underperforming.
Conference finals this year with the same core group of players. Like there's been no major. The biggest change was that they gave Shesterkin the contract he wanted. So everyone should be happy. Instead, I'm watching a team that is performing like the lowest in the East Coast. They're the worst team, I think, right now in the East. It's fucking
take after take after take after take. You're hitting home runs, man. Like it's
it
exactly what's been
bucks.
going on. This is exactly what's been going on. They have a tremendous team. They're just severely underperforming. And Rompe is the guy that I was thinking of before. He's coming up and he's just hurting the team. Instead of him being entertaining and getting into a fight here and there, he's throwing dirty hits and he's just getting ejected a lot. And it's like, I know you're big, but come on, man, you got to do it right.
I think he was told to like put a spark and like shove a fire up everyone's ass.
Ooh.
And he may have taken it a little too far because when they put him in,
he came out with a propane tank.
He's there to fuck someone up. Like his whole purpose on put someone through the fucking board. But then he gets a 5-minute major and gets ejected and suspended for 5 games because he tried to kill Miro Heiskanen. But
exactly.
That was the one game the Rangers last fucking 2 weeks. Was the game against Dallas where he tried to kill Miro Heiskanen. So maybe it did do something, but the whole team is just perform like they have a jinx, they have a bug, they all look terrible, but they're all better players than what they're playing. So it's very confusing to watch.
They're all in the middle of their quicksand, whatever. Like they're just
I'm
underperforming.
uneducated. I'm not as educated on hockey. And by the way, Victor, take notes. This is what you're supposed to do when you're a guest on a sports show: is actually know anything you're talking about. So
I like how
change your background every fucking 5 minutes and think that's the show.
I got fucking sports content right here.
I think Victor's contributions are far
But
more.
let me ask you this: as Ranger people, is it? And this is probably idiotic, but that's the show. Is it similar to the Mets, where the Mets looked terrible for about half the season? They had talent, it looked terrible, and then they kind of pulled it together down the stretch. Could you foresee that with this Ranger team, or is that idiotic?
No, totally.
Yeah, pretty parallel.
The biggest, the most confusing part is that it's a good team.
Yeah, they are. That's the thing. They actually have like big names, and they've worked really well postseason, literally last season. So there's a bunch of question marks in my head for sure. But yeah, it's very, very similar to the Mets season. Like they were absolutely, what was it? The general manager or the coach was like, there's no value here. Like they completely trashed his own team like before leaving or something like that. And then all of a sudden, and NLCS, here we come. I hope so. I mean, that's a great, wonderful, positive way to think about it. It's tough to think that way now. But if there's one positive guy out of the four of us, I mean, sorry, Vic. And I don't know our guest well enough, but I only see you as ever positive. I've never seen a negative thought come through your head. You're absolutely
Victor?
right.
You got to straighten up and fly right. Why don't you look at the glass half full for once, Victor?
I'm looking at bikinis half full right here, my friends. Look at that.
You get a glass of whiskey half full in front of you, I bet.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Are you
takes,
drinking?
Well done.
No drinking yet. Like I said, I'm waiting for the trap pickup right now.
Oh, Victor's headed to the
soon.
men's trap house this afternoon.
Correct. We're gonna go
no
to
ladies
the
allowed,
for an hour.
right? Just drugs and men, right?
My dog.
For the record, that's how I
see.
prefer it. And I think if every guy was being honest.
Oh, look at home.
Very
Victor.
nice.
Shut up. It's a piece of shit. This is more.
That is a beautiful. That's a healthy dog.
That one looks like it stinks. The light colored
I
one.
can smell it
light
from here.
colors.
Yeah.
Mushy.
I know.
Got
I
a
got
mush
dogs.
to it. Yeah.
The light colors one is that salty brine where
Right.
Good consistency. Drinking the water. Very
needs a
healthy
little-
dog right there.
Right. Yeah. Well, he may need to drink a bit more water and less treats.
The little mushy. I kind of just mushed it into the ground.
That's a gentleman.
Now, when was the last time you didn't pick up shit? Be honest.
I think it was about a week ago, but the reason I
Wow.
think is because we were back here in the yard, and I just wasn't paying attention to her for about 10 minutes.
Yard. Somebody's doing well.
Yeah, the community yard. And yeah, I was then watching her, and I'm like, uh-oh, like she hasn't pooped. I think that means she did poop, and I have no idea where it is.
Right. I mean, I'm guilty. I do it weekly. If I forget a bag, what am I going to do? So I do the thing. What I like to do when I don't have a bag, because I do support. I fully support picking up shit. Oh, there it goes. Well, nice having a dog. I thought it was running away.
She wants to play basketball.
What I like to do. Oh, what a
100 episodes.
Now this
here,
is sports. This is sports.
That's right.
I would
This
watch
is
this
live
over
action
TikTok
sports.
any day. This is great.
How do I make it big?
Should we watch a game live and do what everybody else does? The Mannings and the McAfees out there. Like, should we just? And I'm not talking about like a 5 major sport game. I'm talking about like the Ocho.
Here we go. Now
Non-stop broadcasting.
Come on, play with the dog.
Get a little music in the background, and we have got ourselves an absolute
I
fiasco.
mean, I
of a
got
good time.
football on in the background here.
We'd have to figure out one. We'd have to get Stancil a laptop from this decade.
Yes,
That's
I'm
important.
surprised. Honestly, it's holding up as well as it is with
Right.
4 people on.
Yeah.
This is good content.
This is fantastic.
This is
I like
better
that.
than
I
this
like
show.
that. I like the
I'm
canopy.
so
That's
happy I did
gorgeous.
this. Let's go. I'm having a fucking blast here.
Oh,
That's right.
go keep. Wow. Well, there's some racist jokes to be made. No, I'm playing with. Stu Cluster 109. Steve Inc.
Let's go.
Dela, $2. Can I get a wrench for fun? Don't know what that means, Dela,
Nope.
but
She's not making a lot of sense.
it's fine.
She's high.
And I'll be happy to get you a wrench. Thank you anyway
Yeah,
for the
throw a
$1.20.
wrench in the works. Give her a bowl of cereal.
Hey, wait a minute. What am I?
Not much.
Hey,
wait. I'm
wow.
Did you guys?
you were.
You talked football already, correct?
Not real. I mean, yes and no. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off. The segue could have been the last sports team that I can share with is the Jets, because we can kind of segue into football there. So Mets, wonderful to see. Rangers are in an absolute fucking shit show fiasco here, but the Jets. I mean, what have we been watching here with with that team, and the fact that the Giants are still losing out, like they're going to get the pick. There's not much positivity to going on in the gangrene universe.
No.
In New York.
Holy,
In New York
it's tough to
overall.
watch.
The craziest thing about New York sports right now is that the only team pulling any sort of positive attention toward itself, other than the Knicks, is the goddamn New York Mets.
Yeah.
The Yankees
Right.
are getting rid of play. They lost Soto. Now Gleyber Torres is gone. Like, there's nothing positive happening in Yankee Town. The Rangers are in an abysmal state. They're hoping to be like the Mets, which is an incredible statement.
Right.
And the
Great
New
team.
York Jets and the New York Giants are fighting for who could be the worst football team in New York. Just to be clear, it's the Giants right now. We hold the
Right now it is.
title of
13.
shittiest football team in New York. But I just can't believe year after year we're now. I feel like at the end of the season every year since Eli was quarterback winning Super Bowls, every year I'm just like, I don't even know who the Giants are playing anymore because I'm beyond not caring. I'm beyond not even sort of giving a shit because fighting for the last pick means you have to lose, and I just can't get behind that. Watching sports that way. And what the
Yes.
fuck's the point?
Yep.
I'll just watch it. I'm a fucking Detroit Lions fan now. That's it. I'm just gonna have to
Right.
pick the team and
And,
pretend I'm a fan because there's no reason to watch the Giants.
I hate to say it, Steve, but I said it earlier before you came on. I think the Lions are getting knocked out in their first round game. Their defense is decimated. They lost their star running back. The whole thing was their 1-2 punch.
Montgomery, right?
I have a feeling they are not going to last long in the playoffs. Sorry, Steve.
I don't exactly disagree, but I'm hoping for the best.
I had Montgomery in my fantasy too.
There you go. On the Jets, I've said it before. I've said it many weeks now on here, but since Juggy, you're here and there's actually real people here. Listen, the terrible front office coaching locker room from the beginning of the season. Salah shouldn't have been here. Hackett shouldn't have been here from the beginning, from last season. They hired them because they hired him to hold Rodgers' pocket. Now, I will say that because the talent is there. I mean, our O-line once again ended up being shit, but the talent is there. Here's what I've been saying. Who are you going to fight? The people that are saying it shouldn't have been Rodgers back. Who are you going to get? You're going to get Sam Darnold? You're going to get Kirk Cousins? What is the other option? You bring Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Fame player. He's not the Aaron Rodgers I understand of 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. He's still fucking Aaron Rodgers. He knows how to run an offense. He makes the right decisions. You got to bring Rodgers back, draft, God forbid, again, what are we going to do? Draft another quarterback high in the draft, let him play behind one of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game for a year, bring Rodgers back for another year under actual coaching. You know, the stipulation bringing Rodgers back is, hey, you don't get to play front office anymore. You get to just play quarterback, so you can keep your opinions on who we hire to yourself this time as far as coaching. You get real coaches in here. You clean house on that sideline, and you get real coaches that have a plan in here instead of cheerleaders. You bring Rodgers back. He's the best option anywhere you're going to find for another year as long as he's healthy. And you draft a young quarterback, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't bring Rodgers back.
And that has been a Stancil rant.
Rack me.
Let's go. Great points.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's not like you have some. You know what you guys could do? I hear Daniel Jones might be available if things don't work out in Minnesota. Maybe you guys.
Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah. Imagine getting the Giants QB.
Jeez,
I think the Jets got to sell their. I
cross-eyed.
think the Jets got to sell their stake, get a new owner. I think they're cursed. I don't know what happened. I don't think you guys are ever going to get anywhere. I think you're fucked.
Yeah, Woody Johnson is. I will agree that
I like his money. I don't like his choices.
You guys
well,
are
you know what might happen.
Pro
He
middle
may,
linebacker in the middle of the season is beyond me, but he tried. He just tried too late.
and it's not a joke. It happened. Woody Johnson might get some kind of appointment in Trump's team there, which happened last time, which would mean his son would take over operations, and hopefully maybe that will help things. I doubt it. But these owners never get, unless it becomes such a big thing where the league has to step in, these owners will never sell their team just because, we're losing or whatever.
Right.
Do you think
it's not how they make their money.
Hold on to Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I got no problem.
I'd like them to. I'm a huge fan.
The talent is there. That's
Yeah.
the frustrating thing. We have the talent.
Yeah.
Not only do we have the talent, but if we could.
I only say that because he said there were rumors floating around that he wanted a trade earlier, and he's been unhappy.
I think, again, another reason to bring Rodgers back. I don't know what wide receiver wouldn't want to play I mean, anybody's not happy when you're losing. And by the way, the Jets lost 5 or 6 games by 1 score less. Like, they could have easily, and could have, should have, would have. I'm not saying that. But the point is, it wasn't like they were getting decimated all year. 2 or 3 lost games just by makeable field goals that they blew. Another just couple terrible turnovers and penalties costing them games. So they're not like they're getting blown out all year, though we had a couple. It's just terrible coaching and preparation. In my humble opinion, IMHO. I'm a homo. Anyway.
Vic, what do you think about all this, Vic?
Yeah, Vic, are you just looking
Well,
at more backgrounds?
As you see, we have a gay sports bar here, which looks eerily close to Casey's. If you will,
It kind of does. It looks like Bobby Valentine's of old.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, the old Bobby
Yes.
V's. Juggy knows.
Is that John Jones at the gay bar?
But I just
Right?
grabbed these pictures off the internet. Huh? Don't know what the fuck's going on.
That's like the trap house.
Is that Kirby
it's
Puckett
not.
on the right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does
Yeah.
he have one eye? And
I
he's
think
dead?
it's John Bones Jones and Kirby Puckett at the gay bar.
We all like to have a little bit of fun.
We
I was
all
gonna say,
like to have fun.
Steve, it looks like you're doing one of those live streams from Scotland. And if you were chain smoking and just complaining nonstop about the government, you'd be perfect.
I think Vic is trying to say it looked like a YouTube cover.
Right.
There it is.
They're fucking
That's
fussing with the
beautiful.
others.
Yeah.
You know,
The Joshua tree.
And the bloody other Tories. I can't stand it anymore.
fucking,
There you Wow.
fucking done
That's
with this
beautiful,
place.
Mike. That's beautiful.
I
like
swear
him
to God,
more.
we import another fucking 5 million muzzies. I'm not going to have anywhere to live.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking
Did you
hell.
move out of your flat, mate?
All
I
right.
fucking bitch the ball of
Mate,
rugby and nobody
mate,
knows how to
mate,
fucking
mate.
do the ball in Congress. What the fuck?
What
Jerry
is the
Shepherdini.
National Football League and what are they doing here every Sunday?
Manchester United. Only one team to root for, and that's him.
What's
Go
with
Man
all
U.
the? I mean, talk about? I mean, I make fun of Bills fans how there's nothing to do in Buffalo except throw each other through tables and covering themselves in condiments, and they all stink like vinegar and sulfur because they just fart into their 40-inch waist jeans. No offense, Steve, every day. But
Better
what
legal.
is going on in Europe? Why do these people? Do they like soccer? Or do they just like singing?
Excuse
They
me.
like singing.
Ugh,
Singing
just
is
watch
pretty
the
dope.
game.
Yeah, but it's
I
great
guess when there's
over
no
there.
scores and it's
If you're
terribly
that
boring,
good at
you
it
got to do
and there's
something.
that many people involved, holy. I guess you're coming from a guy who's a karaoke fan. Shout out to Casey's.
It's
Me
embarrassing.
too.
But
If
before
it's
we
good, though,
delve
it's
into
not embarrassing. It will get you laid. It is what it is.
You mentioned the Bills fans. Did you see a couple weeks back when they played the 49ers? There
Yes.
was a kid in the stands.
Yes, this
who
is
had
what
cancer.
started all this.
Oh, yeah. You're the one who posted it. That's right.
Yes,
You're
I went on
saw
a
it because
they,
of you.
yeah, that's
right.
what started all this, and my realization that the Bills Mafia are the lowest, low key, the lowest class fans in the NFL. There used to be the Raiders, but nobody really gives a shit anymore. They used to just fight, because they're in Vegas now. Philly people are trash, but at least they have four seasons of teams, and as much as trash as Philly people are, they're actually regular sports fans. In fucking Buffalo, it's on TV right now. It's a guy getting covered in mustard and ketchup in the Bills pregame. You can't make it up. If my computer wouldn't die,
Don't
when
try
I
it.
turned it.
Inverted.
Don't try it.
Literally.
Don't try it. Don't
The
try it.
timing, the absolute timing.
I'm recording
You
it
did-
and I'm going to show it. This is
I heard
unbelievable.
the crescendo of your voice.
This is
I'm
fucking.
looking at it right now.
Oh my God! Wait till you see. I'm recording it. I'm going to play it.
You're fucking an influencer.
Look at this.
Look at
Here.
you. Look at
This is
you.
Buffalo. This is Buffalo, folks. A guy getting covered in fucking ketchup. And they have his name, George Ron Pinto Johnson or something. This is it. He holds out a piece of bread and gets covered in mustard. They fucking trash. And then they push a girl down a flight of stairs who's dying of cancer or beat cancer or something. You
Not
trash. God, I hope Quentin Johnson or whoever plays on the Jets breaks his leg today.
Yeah,
And all the
love
Bills
that
fans go back
story.
to their brick bars with no windows and hitting their
to-
wives.
Just to re-bring it up, it's one of my
amazing
favorite
timing.
stories in football this year. Is a little girl beat what was at the time considered terminal cancer. She turned it all around. She survived. She's in remission. And to
8
celebrate,
years old.
yeah,
More
a little girl,
we
very
need more of
young
that.
child.
More
To
stories,
celebrate,
please.
one of the celebrations I'm sure she's having was she went to a Buffalo Bills game in Buffalo, but she was a 49ers fan. And what do you remember exactly what the Bills
Sure.
fan said or did? I just know for a
I
fact
had this.
he shoved her down the stairs in the stadium because she was a 49ers fan.
Oh my
And,
God,
she had to go back to the
sad.
hospital, and the doctors were like, "Oh, no, your cancer's gone. What are you here for?" She was like, "Well, I went to a
I
Bills
broke my
game,
leg. I
and
went
a
to a
grown
Bills
man
game.
slammed me off some stairs."
It'd be
And it
funny if
reawakened
she went,
cancer.
it'd be funny if she went to the hospital and said, "Well, I don't know what happened, but because that guy pushed you down the stairs, your cancer's back."
Oh, and there it goes. I think they call that a double reverse in the NFL.
That's right. Now, Steve, is that a cigarette or drugs?
It's a one hitter.
Nice. Attaboy.
jumping.
Full of
Tis the
delicious-
season.
Wait, that doesn't answer
drug.
the question. What are you hitting? If you're hitting nicotine,
marijuana.
then it's
You-
okay. Never mind.
Wait
People
till
do
he
one
gets
hit of
inside.
kind of tobacco.
Wait till he gets
Yeah.
inside and lunch isn't ready.
Is
Let's
that
see what he's
pipe
hitting.
weed?
Listen, I get high off of fucking tobacco. I can't even smoke
That's
that.
the thing. That turns my stomach.
I get high off of everything.
Let's
Vic,
I
the
get-
world gets high off of you.
let's
man.
you want to do that? I'll do Stansel's power rankings for week 17.
Oh,
Boys, the trap is
meaningful
coming to
week
get me right now. I
17.
got to run.
All right, Victor. Any
love
last
you.
words?
God
Congratulations on the 100. Hope I
Thank
turn
you.
my fucking gambling around so we can go to Vegas more.
Yes.
bless. I love you to death,
All right.
bud. I
We
miss
love
the
you,
hell out
Vic.
of
There
you.
you go. It's
Good
the
seeing you,
caller.
Vic.
God.
Oh, what could have been if he didn't burn the bridges with Ashley Marie Thornton. And now she's got many, many
Oh.
laurels. Her films are being played all across the country in theaters. And Victor is broke going to a drug trap house with men.
As the world turns, for the times they are a changing.
Now I wish he was still here. I forgot about the trap house. Are there any updates? Because the last time I was here, they had just gotten it back because it was lost for a moment.
It was lost to a marriage. That didn't last, obviously. They had apparently they had the annual holiday party last week where the wives come, the wives and the ladies comes. They have to pretend they don't use that house to do drugs. So he said guys were just wandering off to the garage to do drugs behind closed doors. And he had to sit a couple of them down and say, you got to chill out.
Excuse me.
That's hilarious.
That's yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
assuming
last
if they
couple
wait,
times.
if they had to be sat down to be chilled out, that means they were upper drugs and not downers.
Oh, I'm sure it was Coke.
Yeah, that's more or less what I was saying.
Flirting with convulsions.
Yes. yes.
Oh,
I can't imagine being
You
in a
gotta find
house
the
with
sweet
not only
spot.
my wife but everyone else's wife, and we're all just pretending we're not doing coke.
Oh my God.
That actually sounds like a nightmare, and like the whole time you
Exactly.
just be having any fun because the whole time you just be like, "Hey guys, we got to pretend we're not doing awesome drugs." I'm
Also,
not gonna
let's do
chain smoke
drugs.
10 cigarettes in a row. My
Yeah.
wife-
I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't actually on the drug.
Yeah, so the trap
Yeah,
house
that's a
is alive and
nightmare.
well. There goes Victor of a big football Sunday coming up.
There you go.
Speaking of football,
He's hiding from the bookies.
keep this show moving. Stanton's power rankings, second to last of the year. Everybody talks about these rankings weekly. Many people talk about these power rankings because they frankly are the only ones that matter. Stephen A. Smith is a mongo bongo. Here we go. We'll get right into it. At number 5, still holding on. They still have some power there, but they're holding on by a thinnest of hairs. At number 5 is the Detroit Lions. At 4, as
City
much
football.
as I'm not on the Bills bandwagon, as you can tell by being at 4, I put the Bills at 4. I have to give it. I understand the Ravens haven't even locked up that division yet, but similar to the Chiefs, I think the Ravens play down. I think they've been playing. They're getting hot at the right time as they do. I have the Ravens at 3. I have to give it to the Eagles at 2.
Derrick Henry.
I
Although
was
this
gonna say the
Jalen Hurts
same thing.
injury.
It's hard to disregard before you go
No.
to the next team. Hard to disregard that the problems of the Ravens' past may be fixed by Derrick Henry, because I think Lamar Jackson is what you described as he plays down to the other team. Derrick Henry has one speed. It's fucking kill
It's Derrick
defensive
Henry.
linemen, kill
Yep.
linebackers, and kill safeties.
Yes.
He literally, he's a health nut. He spends
Yep.
like $100,000 or something a year at least on just his nutrition and his fucking workout plans. So like That guy is a machine. He's a football machine, and he is what the Ravens needed, I think, to actually win a Super Bowl.
Inspired by LeBron James, and also on my fantasy team, Derrick Henry has absolutely turned me into a playoff nut. I got to tell you, dude, he's an absolute beast, and he's a healthy beast.
Yeah, I'm playing him in the
I love it.
championship, so I know very well how well he did the other shit, couldn't have one bad game, could you? You fuck. I need the fucking money. Oh, the Ravens at 3, and at 2. I got to give it to the Eagles at 2. I understand Hurts is out. They also have that division locked up, so I'm not overly concerned. But the sheer amount of talent and what I think should be the MVP of the NFL this year, Saquon Barkley, hopefully going off today. He's going for 2,000
going
yards
off every week ever since he reached that team. Holy.
Yeah. Well, he could be the first guy since Eric Dickerson to get over that 2,000-yard mark. So, that's motivation, not that he needs more. So that makes me feel good that he's still going to be playing hard here, especially today for my championship game. But the Eagles at 2, and say whatever you want, they're fucking 15-1. And they're coming off of 2 championships. Another team that big time plays down to their opponents. The Kansas City Chiefs at 1. Until proven otherwise, I have no reason. Yeah. And nobody, it seems like everybody's not talking about the Chiefs until proven otherwise. I mean, they might just walk through another Super Bowl from what I've seen. I see no reason not to believe in the Chiefs. DeAndre Hopkins now there. Who they got some other guy? Who they got somebody else? I don't fucking care.
Oh, they got Worthy. They got Mahomes. They got
Didn't they
Kelce.
Get somebody recently, running back.
Yeah, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown.
Oh, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, that's right. Boy, they love their nicknames, don't they? Anywho,
yeah, I like his nickname. Hollywood Brown's pretty funny.
They love a little nickname.
Yeah, nobody talks about the Chiefs and nobody cares because it's a weird thing that happened with the Patriots. Sometimes teams get so good it's boring.
100%.
They, like people blame the refs. People blame, just how shitty playing in the Kansas City Stadium is. They blame Taylor Swift, but you expect the Chiefs to win every game, and when it is a close one, and it's like if a 21-17 win, you just go, yeah, wow, it was weird how they almost lost. Because they're 15-1, and this is what they've been doing for years. They've won multiple championships. They got so good that it's boring, and nobody even cares. People are looking for the next team to beat them. They don't care. Like, oh yeah, the Chiefs are probably going to be in the Super Bowl again. No, we are trying to get excited over a team that's actually new and fresh and like fun to watch. Because
Arrowhead Stadium becomes Arrogant Stadium.
Whoa!
Because they're that good. Because they're that good.
This is what this show's been missing.
Wordplay.
I see a lot of poor people chats. I appreciate it. Maybe after the picks, but unless you pay, no, I'm not even. Unless you pay for it, I'm not going to be able to read it. So you don't have to hit up my.
I saw that as POUR. Cheers.
But if you want something read, you're going to have to. I'll try to get the poor people chat before we sign off. But there's like 60 messages, so super chat it if you need something read. Are you boys one or both hanging around for the picks?
Yes.
Picks?
You have to pick the game.
That's perfect. That was a perfect.
I mean, I only had enough time for the dog walk today. I don't know if I can spend another.
No, that's fine. That's why I wanted to ask.
Well, thank you for being very considerate. That was very nice of you.
What? I mean, not that everybody here subscribes anyway, but Garrett and Steve on YouTube, is that the main thing?
Sure. Are you coming to Gino's birthday bash tonight?
I cannot. I have to go back up to the soccer ball club because, to Juggy's point, everyone is sick and dead.
Well, I'm sick too. I'm gonna go kill a bunch of people at Gino's birthday tonight.
It wouldn't be the first time people died because of Gino's birthday party.
I know.
Yeah. I might be playing zombies at Casey's tonight.
But I'm sure it'll be a hell of a time. I've been promoting that. So I have been saying, anybody in the tri-state tonight, Rodney's Gino's birthday bash extravaganza. Mead is hosting.
Wow.
For some reason. I don't really get it, but
if food and drink are not free for me, I'm leaving.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
I'll go back out the same door I came in if I don't get a free drink handed to me within 2 minutes of walking in.
Now, have we any, before I let you go, any hot leads on a new, I know you guys do it from your houses, which is respectable to not talk in boxes like we do, but are any hot leads on a new venue for the Garrett and Steve show?
Not as of yet. We're in talks with Sullivan's Pub and Eatery. And when I say in talks, I mean we're just going to show up there and run upstairs and start recording ourselves and see if they kick us out. Because I think we've done far worse and they didn't kick us out. I mean, you would sit at the bar screaming about Jews and whatnot, and we never got kicked out. So I can't imagine I can't just sit at a table with a camera and a microphone and they'd have a problem with it if I'm paying for my drinks.
And you'll pay for your drinks, by the way. You'll pay for every single one of them, and nothing will be discounted.
I'm going to order one drink
to my bar,
$500 because I'm going to have we don't like
Gino still owed money from a tab.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Stevie boy. Well, thank you for coming on. It was very nice of you to grace us. You're way better than this show. And hit me up. Be happy to join you boys whenever I can. I love your show.
Even if we don't get a bar lockdown soon, we still want to have you on, even if it's
I could. I mean, listen, I'm down here most of the time anyway, so I could always also come in person. I just need to know in advance.
That'd be perfect.
All right, folks. Steve Conti.
Congratulations on 100 episodes.
Oh, thank you.
Here's to 100 more. And I wish you nothing but success in the sports world, my friend. Congrats on busting with the boys.
That means a lot.
Wow.
Good luck with the shit.
Thank you so much,
piles
Steve.
Of shit.
Love you.
There he goes, folks. Steve Conti. And now look at us. It's just like old times back in Beggars Canyon, Jugs.
Beggars Canyon.
Ooh, shooting womp rats. All right. Here we go.
You got your picks, huh?
Here's the music, folks. 100 episodes deep. That's the pick music. You know what the fuck is going on. Let's run through this. Juggy's got to do something to his kid. I got to do something to other kids. Here we go. 1 o'clock. Tampa Bay, Carolina at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, along with the Falcons, in a fight for the division and a fight for the playoffs. The Falcons and the Tampa Bay Bucks are both 8-7. They're not going to win the wild card, so they're going to have to win out. We got the Panthers at Tampa. Tampa's -10 at home. Jugs, I'll let you start us off as the guest.
Well, the buck stops here, so I got to go with the Bucks, man. That's a lot of numbers. I mean, they're given 10 at home.
Got go -10 at home.
Logical decision there.
Yeah,
no feelings in this decision.
All right, I like the Bucks. I've said it all year. I've come all the way around on Baker Mayfield. He's won me back. He used to be. I thought he was a bit of a piece of shit, like a Johnny Manziel type. He's kept his head down. He's playing well. Mike Evans is ageless. The Bucks have looked sneaky good. Don't be surprised if the Bucks are the team to knock the Lions out of the playoffs.
That's the thing.
That said, as Jug said, that 10 scares me. But I'm going to take them anyway. Give me the Bucks -10. They're fighting for their lives. They got great chemistry in Tampa, and the Panthers.
Both 8-7. That's going to be a great game.
What's that? No. Both? This is the shitty Carolina Panthers at Tampa Bay. Falcons are a different game. Falcons are also 8-7.
So there was vodka in my drink.
Yes, there was definitely vodka. All right,
I gotta move.
Toilet bowl here. We can move this right along from the 3-12 Tennessee at the 3-12 Jaguars. To pick them, it's Jacksonville's -1 at home. Jugs.
Yeah, you got to go with the Jags. This one, I like the Jags.
I'll take the Jags just because they're home, but really, who gives a fuck? Dallas at 7-8, at Philadelphia at 12-3. Philly has that division locked up, but like we just said, Saquon chasing history, 2,000 yards, divisional game. You know they love to stick it to Dallas. They're at home. Philly is -7.5 at home, and that is not nearly going to be enough. They're going to, I understand Jalen Hurts isn't playing. It's going to be the Saquon show. He's going to run riot, as they say in Halo, over the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Philly -7.5. And by the way, there, over-under there is 38. Give me the over big time, as the Philly might put up 45 on their own.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah, I agree with all that. I really wish that I could just, be clever and be like, oh, boys. No, sorry, gotta take the birds in this one.
Well, that's why people love the show, because we only tell the truth and we only say what we need to say. There's no filler here.
And
it's
we're
all
always
quality.
positive.
Yes, very positive. Indianapolis keeping ridiculous outside hopes of their playoffs hopes alive, but really they're not. And they are going into New York. I have the Philly D on my fantasy team for this reason, because they're playing the Giants in championship week. The line just moved as I was looking at it for some reason. It's because they're not playing. We have the Giants plus a touchdown at home against the 7-8 Colts.
Colts. I'm sorry, the Giants want to lose.
Yes.
They've proven that to me for the past 4 weeks. Colts all the way.
Even if they wanted to win, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
Give me the Colts -7. By the way, how unbelievable. I don't even know if you saw this, Juggs, but basically costing the Colts their playoff lives, that idiot running back, what's his name? Richardson, whatever, one of those guys, drops the ball at the 1-yard line,
Saw that.
going home to put the game away, and instead they lose, and they basically are out of the playoffs because this idiot couldn't control himself. How
Can you
unbelievable.
imagine?
How bad does that look now?
Right. How bad does that look? How bad does that feel? Oh, just the worst moment of anyone's life. You're going to want to go into hiding after that atrocity. 1 yard away from the playoffs, and you're responsible? Yeah.
Brutal.
Witness
Well, that's
protection.
control. All you kids watching, I know a lot of kids watch this show, just have some class, carry the ball to the end zone and hand it to the ref.
Right. Exactly. Bo Jackson.
Nothing on the line at all in this game. We could steamroll right through it. The Vegas Raiders, the 3-12 Raiders at the 5-10 Saints. The Saints for a little while there were holding on to playoff hopes. That is no more. Saints are getting 2 at home. Kamara's out. Give me the Raiders. I will say this. Raiders, I've seen for some reason the Raiders have been a lot of prime time, and I've watched a decent amount of them. The Raiders play hard for Antonio Pierce. I know that it hasn't come across in wins. Give me the Raiders -2 on the road.
Yeah, same. I like
Easy.
it.
All right,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
here's our boys. We
Kamara's
have
out. Bye.
We have Kamara's out, exactly. We have the 4-11 New York Jets at the piece of shit, low-life scum, table-ridden, fart-smelling, sulfur-stinking Buffalo Bills.
Give me the sulfur-sinking Bills all day. Are you
Bills
kidding me?
-10 at home. There you go. I might surprise some people here. I am taking the Jets plus
Wow.
those points. The Jets always play the division games
Stencils for the documentary.
Absolutely. And it's 10
All right.
points. I'm not saying they're going to win,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
that's a
they
lot.
cover. Don't be surprised if the Jets do win. They've done weirder shit.
Also
Give
true.
me the Jets plus the 10. Maybe it's partly wishful thinking. I am playing Josh Allen in the championship, so fuck him. It's shitty weather up here in the Northeast, and so they're going to have to keep the ball on the, well, it's not that shitty, but it could play a
Selfishly
slight...
for my defense, so I got to go with the Bills.
Right. So there you go. And give me, so I'm taking the Jets plus the 10 there, folks.
All right.
Another meaningless game. Although, again, Miami, another one of these teams at 7-8, extremely out, not technically eliminated from playoffs yet, but a very long shot. You got the 7-8 Dolphins at the 3-12 Cleveland Browns. The Browns are getting 3.5 at home.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins are trying and the Browns are not.
There you
With
go.
That being said, I got to go with the fish. Got to go with the mammals. Got to go with the Dolphins.
CJ Laurentiis, Miami Dolphins. That's for about 2 people that are both
Shout out
on the show. I'm going to go. I'm taking Cleveland.
There you go.
Jameis Winston was playing okay. They're at home. They could technically play. They can technically knock the Dolphins out of the playoffs, so that's something to play for. They're at home. Why not? They're getting 3.5. Give me the Browns plus 3.5 at home. Now, here's a game. Now, here's an actual good game, finally. 4:25 slot. I believe this will be your national game.
Talk to me.
It is essentially a pick-em. A lot on the line here. Both playing for seedings and everything. Green Bay at 11-4 need
Talk
this
to me.
game. at the 13-2 Vikings, who are tied with the Lions at 13-2 atop that division. It's a pick'em. Vikings -1 at home.
Man. Shout out to the old high school, man. We're going Vikings.
Shout out to West Hill High. I may or may not have stole a goal post protector that said Vikings.
That may or may not be in my garage rafters.
Who's to say? Allegedly.
The
Yeah,
lore.
as
Lore.
much as I am as low, not that I've been low, but I don't think the Vikings are a 13-2 team as far as skill goes. They are 13-2, but I don't think that's a proper representation. They're not that good. As much as I say that, I also don't think Green Bay is as good as their record. So I'm taking the Vikings. If the Green Bay was home, I would take them. Give me the Vikings at home. -1, trying to win that division. Here's the other side of our first game, Jugs. The 8-7 Atlanta. We're tied with Tampa also at 8-7, trying to win that division. That's going to be their only way in because the wild card, they don't have enough wins for the wild card. The 8-7 Falcons at the 10-5 Redskins, also playing for their playoff lives. So the Eagles are going to win that division. Washington is favored at home, -3.5.
Wow. That's a hard take. I'm going to have to go with the Commanders.
I'm taking the Redskins myself, but yeah. Redskins.
I've seen the Revenant way too many times to feel good about the Redskins.
Yeah. Oh, we're just having fun.
I know. Maybe I'm too woke, but
no. It's fine. I hope they change that name. I almost like the Washington football team better than the Washington Commanders.
Right? Or club. Washington Football Club.
Yeah, what do you think of the Utah? Quick aside here. I'm taking the Redskins -3.5. What do you think of the Utah team? The Utah hockey team?
I personally hate them because they beat their first win was against the Rangers. But if you leave the personal point aside, I love it. I'm sorry, but I love it. I hope they don't come up with a cutesy wootsy name of like the Utah ski lifts or like the Utah marijuana sign. Like even that would be like, no, just stop it. All right, as long as it's not over the top. Who knows? Maybe like the Utah Bears, because nobody knew that the place was infested with bears. And I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying they could be. The point
Utah
is,
Mormon.
If they change it, because it might need to be changed, just change it to something good. And that's different with everybody. I might hate it, but the rest of the world would love it. Fine, go for that.
I almost like this Utah Hockey Club. Keep it classy.
Me too. I love that. What's wrong with that? Bring a little, English soccer decorum into the mix. Let it be. Just let them be a Utah hockey club and not Salt Lake Cityllians.
Right.
Something weird and, something awful. That would
Salt
be
Lake
great.
Shitheads.
Right, yeah. The Dumb and Dumbers. Who knows? It could get wild. It could get ridiculous. But the point is, I like the Utah Hockey Club, and I love how Times New Roman basic it is.
Yes.
It's great.
I like
it's
the simplicity.
Everything
Everything has been so over the top in the last few years. I agree, actually. And hot take, I agree with that.
I hope they don't go like Utah Topsy-Turvies or something like that.
So we got it's only that the Tampa Washington game is our Sunday night game. There's only one more. We only have the Monday night game to pick. Light schedule because of all the games during the week this week. Tomorrow night, Detroit 13-2 Lions, as we said, trying to keep pace with the 13-2 Vikings. We'll see what happens today. If the Vikings win today, regardless of what the Lions do, the Vikings win today, their matchup next week, the Lions-Vikings matchup, will be for that division, which is interesting. So if you don't have a rooting interest, if you just want to see good football games, you're going to root for the Vikings today against Green Bay. So next week we have that primetime game for the division, as there may not be a lot will fall into place after today as far as playoffs. That may be one of the few games next week that has any bearing. So anyway, the 13-2 Lions at the decimated 6-9 San Francisco 49ers tomorrow night. San Fran, almost surprisingly, only getting 3.5 at home. I'll make it easy. Give me the Lions minus 3.5. Yeah.
I'm not picking.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that for a take? No, not the 49ers. Gonna have to go with the Lions on this one. It's very surprising to me that the Lions have. I think that the Lions have shown me very impressive traits. As long as, like, you lost Montgomery,
Yep.
like that's the biggest statement of them all, and they're still 13-2, folks.
And they had a lot of injuries
That's
before
impressive.
that, too. Not for nothing. I know I've been down the line, but they had a lot of injuries on defense even before Montgomery is out. And Gibbs is a great back. But there was, when you have that 1-2 punch of both of them, that's a big loss. I agree, Jugs. Like you said, I think there's still way too much talent there. I'm surprised that line's only 3.5. I guess they're putting a lot of weight into that Montgomery being out. But I agree. And those folks.
Throwback take that we had before, though, we were just like, oh, now we're all of a sudden Lions fans. And it took me a second to be like, well, not this year. Dude, they're coasting. They're doing so good. And I hope that they continue on, because that's the kind of team, that's the kind of underdog team that I can back because of, I guess, our experiences.
Right.
You know, like,
yes, what is it?
Awful seasons, like, based on great teams.
When was they have never won a championship, or they haven't won it in let me see. I'll look it up since I have a job.
But yeah, I don't think
the Lions are the only NFC team to never make the Super Bowl. They've never even been in a Super Bowl. Yeah, and God forbid. I mean, talk about a city that needs something.
There you go.
So yeah, I don't mind
I
that.
could back that. I could back that all day since the Jets and Giants are out.
Well, folks, those are the picks for episode 100 of Sports Max. Let's see if there's any. Let's go through the poor people comments real quick, Jugs. Let's see.
You are.
It's about 70.
Cheers.
Let's see. I can't guarantee it. Let's see. De La. We saw this one. Okay. COVID came out in New York City, New Year's 2020. That's right. That's when I got it. Shout out Omicron.
I never got it.
Let's see. I'm just running through East Coast Sports Talk. Tommy.
Oh, is that Big Tom?
I don't know. I don't
Tommy,
think that
the one
is Tommy
who took
7.
me. Oh, is that the Tommy that took me to the comedy club that day?
Oh, good old Tommy.
Is it?
Jim Stansel for life. That's my girl, little Lemmy. Thank you. No, Lemmy wasn't on the sports show. She's been on.
I like how she's on Twitch. I'll see you later.
Oh yeah, Lemmy's big on. Look up little Lemmy on Twitch. He's big on Twitch.
Yeah, maybe little Lemmy should look up Juggy
karaoke first chat.
Ooh. I think I scored a keyword there with the karaoke.
De La getting freaky. I'd pay top dollar to get covered in mustard.
Mustard.
I'll cover you in mayo, if you know what I mean, De La.
I'll cover you in mustard. Whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever. I think De La might be drunk. I don't know. Some of these people might be in England or something.
Dude, I'm all in for it, man. I love
it. Huge numbers. The numbers are freaking me out, man. I know the numbers are big, and they're only getting bigger. New Patreon uploaded right after this. You're welcome in advance, and thank you to our patrons. The
numbers freak me out in some of those picks, bro. Like, again, 10. Whoa.
Yeah.
Not even making it interesting.
Julio.
Oh, wow.
The tall polygamist, he says.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's not bad. It's not bad, honky tonk.
Exactly.
Utah Gold. That's not bad. Nice and simple. The Gold
Utah
Rush.
Gold is actually dope. Yes.
Julio again. The Utah Latter-day Saints. Not bad.
So here we go.
Let's go. Well, Julio doesn't show up. If we did it in person, Julio would have been on it. He doesn't like to be on camera.
That's okay. We respect.
He was going to be on it if we did it during the week. Well, folks.
Oh man,
that's
a good wordplay.
Jugs, thank you so much for coming on. I hope feel free whenever you want. I mean, I'll send you the link whenever. But this has been
Yeah.
always fun.
Just don't make it so last second. Let me know when you're
that's
good,
the thing.
brother.
That's just it, Jugs. And I know you.
No.
Hashtag, we say all the time here, hashtag real job, hashtag real life. We leave our house, just like you. You know, we leave our houses. You got work. You have a kid, for God's sake. I half the time don't know when I'm doing this podcast till about 20 minutes before. But I always, obviously, you're a natural at this. You're far better than people who actually do this for a living. I really do hope, get in touch now that the holiday season's over, New Year. I would love you and Chick Mangione to do it, even if it's just a once in a while. If you want to talk about something specific with health stuff, but we'd love to have Fit Mask back on the network.
Okay. Somebody's got to get on the horn with that one. We'll see. We'll see where she's at.
Love a horn.
That would be a great idea.
And then
Birth
that's really it.
from
And
the
as
100.
far as real life, we gotta set up a play date ourselves, do a mini trap house.
Love that. I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, I gotta get up there. But it's just, again, hashtag real job, as same for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, any closing remarks, Jugs? You were here for many of the early episodes, getting this show off the ground. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is where dreams can reach. Okay.
Yes,
That's a fact.
We've
We've always talked about this long time ago. This came from like Halo and Metal Gear stuff,
Sure.
all the way until this type of stuff. And the fact that you carried this thing all the way to 100, golly, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, like we
And
said,
I don't mean that in a negative way, like that's ridiculous. No, I mean that as like, dude, I've seen some hilarious stuff. I've seen some fallouts between you and Ski Mask. I've seen, there's a lot of drama that's been taken on here and there, but like it's all been entertaining. It's all been in good fun. And I mean, geez, my hat is, I have to take this hat off because this hat sucks anyway. My hat's off just because. I'll leave it right there because that's perfect. Right there.
There it is.
Man. Now, I appreciate you keeping on this thing, man. This is so much fun. This is a huge
just for
part.
fun. Like I said, I've said from the beginning, and I've always said this is all just for fun because I want to do it. Everything else is bonus. So thank you all again. You can. I say it all the time. I used to be excited and interested when we would get 10 views on a video. Now they get hundreds of views and a bunch of live viewers. I think people enjoy it. We tell the truth here, and we shall return next week for episode 101. Ski Mask is moving out of the trailer as we speak. I was sick yesterday. We were going to do a show, so that's on me. But we will do a show sometime this week. Yeah. And that's it, folks. Thank you to Juggy. Thank you to Victor, the caller, Mark. Thank you to Steve Conti. And thank you to all of you, especially the Patreon people. God bless you. We won't stop here. Count all the troops. Bring home the votes. And happy January 6th.
You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
There it is. Enjoy the football. Oh, wait a minute. As I always say, I almost forgot to say it. Kick your wife down a flight of stairs. Send your kids to foster care. Send your ailing mother to a home. You got to still have a day full of football, folks. And you got a night of football tomorrow. You can't let anything come in your way. Only 2 weeks of regular season left. Rid yourself of family and responsibility. Just get in front of a TV and order wings like you're from Buffalo. We'll see you next week.
God bless. You guys are awesome. That was hilarious.